Nice to see you again, and that was an extraordinary night of football, that was.
Yeah, unfortunately without people. So 7 goals here in St. James Park. Yeah, it's now a victory away. Good lessons for us. Incredible spirit and how we fought, how we come back, and not disappointed. That show what this team it is. So no any complaints and regrets about after being champion, after just training one day. It's normal, the distractions that we had. We have to learn of that, but it's normal after winning the Premier League. The players, normally they want to do it, but it's already done. But still we have 60, 70 days before the final. So, but it will be a good lesson for the future to come back as soon as possible. And but the spirit and the way we run and we play was really good.
Ferran Torres, talk about him, hat-trick for him.
Having incredible numbers and goals in his first season in the Premier League. Premier League, everyone knows how tough it is. He's so young and he's so clinical. So he's a guy who bodied like a winger, but maybe have to think about it, put it like a striker. Have an incredible sense of goal, a good finishing. The second goal in Crystal Palace is a good demonstration, and yeah, all the goals. He's a good player.
Scott, having got back out and got another Premier League appearance, how pleased are you it's ended in victory in a game that went one way and then the other at times?
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing at the end of the day was the 3 points, and I think he kept the unbeaten away record going. So yeah, for me personally, it was brilliant to get a game. Yeah, I was a little bit nervous before because I think it's been over 2 years. So, but once that whistle goes, I forgot the feeling of how much I enjoyed it and why I've loved playing football since I can remember. And like you said, at 2, when they get the penalty and we're going at 2-2, you think, is it going to be one of them days? And then obviously the lads come up to me after the game, and first thing I said is there's only me that plays in them sort of games. I think we said it would have been a boring 0-0 if Eddie played, I think.
You managed to throw in a penalty save in the game as well, but I guess underlines the life for a goalkeeper. You save it and he knocks in the loose ball. Yeah,
I think because he probably didn't put it as far in the corner as he wanted, it's more hit me on the forearm and unfortunately span back across the front of the goal. But no, like you said there, he's tapped the rebound in, so the penalty save's irrelevant. It would have been nice if it went round the post or one of the defenders would have cleared it. But going back to what we said before, the most important thing was the victory.
There's not much room for sentiment in football at times, but how much did it mean to you to get this opportunity tonight, and the fact that your teammates wanted you to get an opportunity? Yeah,
it means everything to me. Obviously, I think someone just said there, it was 10 years ago since I played a Premier League game, so there does come a point where you think you're never going to ever get the chance again, and but it's never stopped me working hard and enjoying what I'm doing day in, day out, and hopefully how I've been around the place and how I've trained he's maybe rewarded me with giving me a game. So I'll just keep doing what I've been doing and supporting the lads best I can.
Just finally, give us an insight in what enables this group of players to reach the heights that they are reaching just now, the way they've come back and reclaimed the title this season and pushed themselves into a Champions League final.
Oh, it's an incredible group. They've got a great mix. Obviously they've got the best manager in the world. His tactics are nothing like we've seen before, but he's got the players who can do it. He can plan it on the training ground, put it on the tactics board, and they can do it. No questions asked. But no, it didn't start too well at the start, but no one stopped believing, and everybody knew it was only a matter of one victory and they could go on a great run, and that's obviously what happened.
Welcome back. We've been treated to a thoroughly entertaining Premier League contest at St James's Park. Manchester City, the newly crowned champions, winning away to Newcastle United by 4-3. Ferran Torres will undoubtedly come away with the headlines. I just wonder now, has he almost announced his arrival on the back of that hat-trick today?
Well, he's give Pep a big decision now. Again, we talk about off air, we're talking about who's going to play in the Champions League final, and when you score a hat-trick with a couple of games before the final, you must be thinking, I'm ready. Pep put me in the final. What a great game. You know, he looked like he's played there all his life, and he's just looked really sharp. When defenders were sort of dreaming or sleeping, he was coming alive. He was alive in the box, as we say, fox in the box, and he was really sharp tonight.
How impressed were you with his performance?
Really impressed, and you know, I sat here complaining before the start of the game that they've won the Premier League without a centre forward. What chance have you got? But I saw a centre forward today that I'm excited about, and I think in time to come he will be a major force for Man City in the way that they play.
Do you think they might actually contemplate him as a future successor for Sergio Aguero?
Well, Pep sees him every day, works with him every single day. So we've seen him tonight. We thought he was brilliant. He could be like that every single day in training. We don't know sitting here, but he's definitely given something to think about for sure. And we thought before the game Jesus would play central, and maybe him on the wide ones. But you know, Jesus was out right, and Torres was through the middle, and you can see why. I say he's clinical tonight, and he's going home with a match ball.
At one apiece, his first of his three made it 2-1 in City's favour. It's just the audacity of it, though, Shay, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of quality here. I mean, the ball from Gundogan's fantastic. I mean, Murphy won't be overly happy with his defensive point of view. If we highlight Murphy at the front here, he should drop with the rest of the line, and I think he heads us clear if he does that. When you have a forward-thinking player in a dangerous area like that, then you're going to cause problems. But taking nothing away from the finish, that has a phenomenal finish. No right to score really from there.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, it's one of those freaky. Well, first of all, I thought he was flicking it to the far post, but then when I look at his reaction and where he looks at the ball, he knows he's hit that on target. So, an unbelievable finish, absolutely unbelievable finish. Remember Giroud scoring a goal pretty similar some years ago, but that's outstanding.
Is something like that instinctive?
Yeah, I mean, you know where the goal is, and you know he knows his game's about scoring goals, and you just look at his reaction. He's not looking to the far post. He's looking as soon as he's made connection. He's looking straight to the goal because he knows this is on target and he's got a chance.
That's
and
the goal of the night, definitely, and it could even be one of the goals of the season. I think we'll look that back at the end of the season thinking it's got to be up there with one of the goals of the season. Fantastic finish.
Newcastle went on to score 2 penalties, but then, of course, City hit back through Ferran Torres. He showed his predatory instinct, really, didn't he, for his second goal? Yeah,
definitely. I mean, the thing for a Newcastle point of view, they'll be disappointed because he's free in the middle of the box if you see how his runs on. I mean, again, Jesus does well on the way when gets the ball in the box, but when we see the replay, Manish, you'll see either Kraft's got to get to him or I think it's Willock's got to get back as a midfielder and pick him up. You see he's free in the middle of the goal.
I think it's always difficult, sorry to jump in there, I think it's always difficult. When he picks up that position there, as a centre-half, you're never going to go in there and mark him because you're frightened of that ball that goes across the 6-yard box. So he's clever in his movement. He's not gone in so that someone can pick him up. He's just stood on the edge. And if you're not getting a midfield player coming and marking him, then the centre-half's always going to go on the 6-yard box.
When we saw City shape up initially for the contest and they decided to put Torres in the middle and Gabriel Jesus out on the right, were you surprised by that?
I was, because we've not seen Torres before. So I was thinking Jesus is going to play through the middle and maybe he would play for the right. But then early on in the game, he made a great run across the near post and hit it with the outside of his boot, and I thought it was in. Just went wide, and it just shows why, because all his goals were one touch.
As for the third goal that completed the hat-trick, if Newcastle weren't safe at this moment in time in their season, would they have defended this one differently?
Yeah, possibly. I think they're getting a lot of bodies forward. They're trying to score themselves, to be fair to them. You know, we talk about being a clever foul. So Sterling gets fouled here now. Newcastle players, for me, looked a bit leggy. Talk about 82% possession. So they're chasing the ball most of the night. But Sterling comes alive, does a quick free kick. And if you watch the reaction of the Newcastle players now, maybe that's the reaction of the team that are safe. I mean, you're probably right. Yeah. If they're scrapping for points, they're sprinting to get back into position. And now they never really get their team shape back in the right positions. And comes out to Cancelo here on the left side. And again, I think maybe Murphy can come out to the ball quicker. They just looked a bit leggy at this point. A little bit of luck to Torres what ends up here, but again, Les, what a finish that first time.
Great finish. And again, look at him, look where his position is. Then he makes the run as if he's going to go for the ball, gets himself in that position. He's onside just as the ball's played there and hits the post and falls to him. And sometimes you say he was lucky, but you'll find out throughout his career, when the type of centre-forward he is, this will always drop to him because he's always looking for it.
And that's a good sign, isn't it? Because you could see that wasn't the cleanest of finishes. And no matter which way it goes in, it doesn't matter. But clearly that is a feather in his cap, though, isn't it?
It certainly is, because he's always in and around that box, looking for those balls that come across the box, looking for the things that come off the goalkeeper, looking for the things that come off the post. That means he'll score a lot of goals.
Yeah. Yeah, lovely to hear from Ferran Torres. Interestingly, though, he talks about being equally comfortable playing out on the right wing or down the middle as a false or a real 9. Is he a star in the making for you as a proper 9?
I think you look at all modern-day centre-forwards or front players and most of them can play in, they'll say in any one of the positions every time I get an agent text me about a player, he can play anywhere across the front three nowadays. So he's obviously one of them as well. He's a right winger but can play centre.
But it's an easy selling point then.
It
for
certainly
them,
is, mate. And when you look at the goals that he scored tonight, he looked like a genuine centre forward. And so for me, we're talking about strikers. He just looked like it because the goals were instinctive. He didn't think about them, just bang, bang, bang.
13 goals from him in all competitions, which is more than Riyad Mahrez in his first season at the Etihad. And at £20 million, it looks like a decent bit of business from City, this.
It's a bargain, yeah. And he says in interviews as well, he scored a hat-trick against Germany as well, which is no mean feat. Hat-trick tonight, Premier League hat-trick. He's putting himself in the thoughts, you know. I know he asked the question about the Champions League final, and Pep will be looking at the game tonight and watch it back tomorrow and think, tell you what, we might not have to spend 100 million in the summer. We might have the answer already there. And we were trying to name the Champions League final team as well, and there's one last piece of the jigsaw, and Torres has done himself no harm tonight. Yeah.
They'd still, of course, have 2 more games. But after that one game today, he's almost undroppable for the next one, isn't he?
Yeah, you would think so. But again, we spoke before the game, he's got to get the balance right of playing the team he probably wants to start in the final, getting their fitness, getting their sharpness right for the final. But then again, when someone scores a hat-trick, as you say, Manish, it's very hard to drop in the next game.
But if you're Torres, you just want to keep on playing, won't you, on the back of a hat-trick?
Of course you do. Of course you do. But this is modern-day football. And you can score a hat-trick and be on the bench for the next game, which is, as a centre-forward, as someone who scores goals, it frustrates the absolute life out of you.